Jennifer Connelly is here. At the age of 10, she auditioned for director Sergio Leone, landing a role in his gangster epic Once Upon a Time in America. In the 20 years since, she has made the difficult transition from child performer to adult actor, appearing in such films as Labyrinth, Vinning, The Abbotts, and Requiem for a Dream. Her latest work as Alicia Nash opposite Russell Crowe in A Beautiful Mind has earned her a Golden Globe Award and her first Oscar nomination. Here is a look at her work in that film.
You wanna know what's real? This. This. This is real. Maybe the part that knows the waking from the dream. Maybe it isn't here. Maybe it's here. I need to believe that something extraordinary is possible.
I am pleased to welcome Jennifer Connelly to this table for the first time. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm happy
Welcome,
to be here.
Oh, it's great. Tell me about this movie and how you feel about it and all the attention that it has brought you and Russell and the director and even John Nash himself. Was it one of those things where you thought, my God, if I could just do this, it would be an unparalleled opportunity for me at this point in my career?
That sounds very much like something that I said, except added to the end of it was,
probably better.
I'm sure they'll never cast me.
Yeah, right.
Because I'm sure everyone else will think the same thing.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And, you know, they don't come around that often, the scripts that I feel that passionate about, that seem to have kind of everything going for them. Remarkable story, all the more remarkable because it's based on a true story in these people's lives. And, you know, and then Ron is at the helm, and Russell is, you know, is cast as John Nash already when I read the script. And Alicia is such an extraordinary woman in the midst of all of that. So it just felt like such a great opportunity for me.
Yeah, and it seems, not knowing much about acting, but it would seem to me that when you watch the transition in her and her journey, it's even more compelling as a part, and even more compelling to the film.
Yeah, and it was, you know, it was, it was an interesting challenge for me to kind of find her, you know, start with her at age 25 as this kind of, you know, whip-it smart, but flirtatious, kind of girlish character, and to travel with her through this choice when she's met with this, you know, when they're both met with this terrible obstacle of this affliction, you know, and her gradual transformation into this very powerful, utterly committed, loving woman, wife, mother. It was really a great, very interesting journey going on.
Did you talk to her before?
I did. It felt important to me to do that, even though, you know, just as the movie is inspired by their lives, you know, Ron has been very careful to say, you know, this is not a...
This is a movie, this is not a biography.
This is not a biography. And so, you know, we've made some changes with Alicia, but I felt like it was important for me to talk to her and, you know, give her a chance to sort of express things about herself should she want to. You know.
Did you see something in her that you wanted to make sure you brought? Or was that mainly a product of the script that you saw?
Yeah, no, I felt it kind of affirmed for me a sense that I got that she was this very exuberant kind of woman, that she has, I noticed that she definitely has that, still that playfulness. She's not a solemn intellectual. She is of formidable intellect, but she's also very playful and spirited, and quick. So that was interesting for me to observe in her, and still fiercely protective of him.
You saw the script, you said this is a great role. As I understand it, Ron knew, and because Imagine had produced Requiem for a Dream, am I right about this?
Inventing the Abbotts.
Inventing the Abbotts, knew about you, had seen you, and it was his idea that you might just be great for this?
I think so. I'm not privy to the
process.
To that part, but I did the first step in being cast was meeting with Ron. We sort of sat down.
Now, what's that conversation about?
You know, why I love it, what it means to me.
Yeah,
you know,
right. What I can bring to it.
You know, that's sort of like, oh, we're just talking about it, but I'm sort of pitching myself at the same time. Yeah. That sort of
and
funny
how many
conversation.
And how many readings did you have to go through?
I did one with Russell.
Yeah.
And we went through, I remember they had asked me to read maybe, 3 or 4 scenes, and I finished, and I was having such a good time, I said, can we do some more? I just kind of want to keep doing this, so.
And what do you think they saw something? I mean, they're looking obviously for some kind of chemistry between the two of you. I mean, it's got to look like something's happening on screen, right?
Yeah, I would assume. I won't, I don't even get involved in that arena and why and how and whatnot. I do know that same day, which is extremely rare, they called and offered it to me, which had only happened to me once before, on Once Upon a Time in America, actually, the first movie I ever did. So, but we worked well together, Russell and I. So I think it was kind of evident.
And why do you think that was?
I don't know. Maybe we just have sort of compatible working styles. He's very, he's someone who does sort of, exhaustive research and extensive preparation and all that kind of thing.
And you're the same?
But then likes to arrive on the set and kind of just be available to see what happens and kind of follow it. And
not eliminate
collaborate.
Spontaneity and intuition and all those things.
Yeah.
When you look at this now, is this, in a sense, why you want to be an actor? Because you get a chance to get parts like this? Yeah.
Yeah. I love, I didn't always feel that I was so much in my niche in this work. Having started as a kid and gone through my really, strange teen years, still doing this very public work. Right. But now, it's such a gift. I mean, I feel like it's sort of, I feel thoroughly exhausted in the very best way by this work, and it feels like a gift.
So even though you sort of got into it not of your own necessary because you were seeking to be an actor, when it works out this way, it couldn't be better.
Absolutely.
Look at this, Ron Howard on this show talking about you.
Jennifer is I think, really wonderful in the film. She had been one of the leads in a small movie that we had produced called Inventing the Abbotts, and her role was, fairly simply written. I thought she and the director, Pat O'Connor, found a great deal of texture and depth, and so that's when I first became aware of Jennifer as someone I thought had real acting chops. When we began to read about the real Alicia Nash and see pictures of her, as a young woman, she was just dazzlingly beautiful. Well, Jennifer fits into that category. When I met Jennifer, I also found out that she was very academically ambitious. Had been to Yale, been to Stanford, understood this academic environment, and in fact, the real Alicia Nash was quite a rarity in her day. An engineering student at MIT in 1950, very rare for a woman to be at MIT at that time. So she's got the intelligence, she's got the beauty, she has the experience. The next question was the chemistry in the relationship with Russell Crowe, and we did one audition where the two of them did some scenes together, and I just felt that that she was going to be extraordinary in this.
There you go. Not bad, huh?
So nice.
So nice.
How nice is that guy?
So what makes him good?
Ron?
Nominated as Best Director by
Deservedly so. I'm so
the
happy
Academy,
for him.
as they say.
Well, from my point of view, I can speak from my experience. I had so much, I trusted him. He has immense respect for his actors. I never felt that I came away from a scene wanting to do something that he didn't give me the opportunity to do. He knows he's extremely capable and talented in what he does. At the same time, I don't know, maybe that affords him the confidence to welcome other people's opinions and ideas and collaboration. He's very supportive. He really listens. He adapts himself to each of his actors and the way that they work. To name a few.
That's a start. Notwithstanding that, you called the beginning of the production of this film, I think your quote was, the most intimidating table read-through of all time.
It was. I mean, the table read-through is sometimes, you get
around the table,
all the actors and producers and whatnot, and it's normally, a kind of manageable size. And this was literally, I can't even fathom how many people. It was like 15 people down, 15 people across. It was this massive table with all these actors, Ed Harris and Russell Crowe and Christopher Plummer, and Ron is there, and it was just a who's who of actors, and there I was, and felt like kind of new kid on the block, even though I've been working for a while. Felt kind of in that company like the imposter, but it all settles in the end.
Did you ever think this wouldn't happen, or did you somehow know that it's just waiting for the right vehicle?
I don't know. I mean,
or did you care?
I guess different things at different points. There definitely was a time where I felt like I had done enough movies that made me cringe. I had done enough movies that I thought, didn't really represent me well.
Sort of grade B movies, they would say.
That had nothing to do with the kind of movies that I like to watch.
But it kept you working.
It kept me working, and I was sort of just took for granted that this is what I did for a number of years without really being quite as conscious with my work as I was maybe with other parts of, more private parts of my life. So then I got to a point where I thought, you know what, I just don't want to do it anymore unless I'm working on things that I feel really strongly about, that I feel really passionate about, so then I thought, well, if it happens, fantastic.
Right.
But that's the condition under which
You're
I
at
want to
peace with
continue.
it, regardless of whether it happens or not.
Yeah.
And what did you do once you made that decision?
I just, decided to be more patient and continued to read things and go on meetings and audition, and at that point kind of fight to get in the room at times with people who sort of had different, different conceptions.
I'll compete for what I want, but if I can't get that, then...
Yeah.
All right. Take a look at this. This is where you meet Russell Crowe playing John Nash, Beautiful Mind.
Personally, I think this class will be a waste of your, and what is infinitely worse, my time. However, here we are, so you may attend or not. You may complete your assignments at your whim. We have begun. Miss.
Excuse me! Excuse me!
Hey!
Hi. We have a little problem. It's extremely hot in here with the windows closed and extremely noisy with them open. So I was wondering if there's any way you could, I don't know, maybe work someplace else for about 45 minutes?
Not a problem.
Thank you so much.
Got a break? Got it.
As you will find in multivariable calculus, there is often a number of solutions for any given problem.
Nice look there, Miss Connelly.
We had a good time. That was my first day.
That was the first day? The first scene?
Yeah, it was.
You remember it with a smile.
I remember all of it with a smile, to tell you the truth. Even the days when I was, we shot largely in chronological order, which is another testament to, Ron's respect for his actors.
Makes it easier.
It really does, especially with something, we're all very used to working, completely out of sequence, but it was kind of a nice luxury to have working like this.
I want to take a look at another scene. Here's where Russell John proposes to you, Alicia. Take a look.
Alicia, does our relationship warrant long-term commitment? I need some kind of proof, some kind of verifiable empirical data.
I'm sorry, just give me a moment to redefine my girlish notions of romance. A proof. Verifiable data. Okay. Well, how big is the universe?
Infinite.
How do you know?
I know because all the data indicates it's infinite.
But it hasn't been proven yet.
No.
You haven't seen it.
No.
How do you know for sure?
I don't, I just believe it.
It's the same with love, I guess.
There's also the nominee for Best Actor. He won the Oscar last year.
Yes.
He obviously has something going for him.
Yeah.
What is it? You've been up close and personal, as we say.
I don't know. I don't know that I can define it.
Yeah. But can you feel it? Was it there? Is it something? Did you say, well, this is just another actor, or did you say, Jesus, he's good?
He's certainly,
Man.
he's very talented, and he
That's
works.
it, he's very talented?
He's very talented,
That's
and,
it,
he, and,
he's
he,
very
and he
talented?
works hard at what he does.
And he works hard at what he does?
And I don't know. He invests sort of all of his being in what he does,
And it
all
makes
of
your
his
work
scenes.
how much easier.
And also in a visceral way. He's not someone who comes up with a sort of conceptual idea of what he wants to do and kind of approximates it. He is someone who sets very high standards, from my observation, sets very high standards for himself, and won't let it go. Is relentless in the pursuit, and until he's satisfied, it will continue.
Do you learn something from watching a guy like that, in sense of all those things, a relentless pursuit of getting what you want?
Yeah.
Or did you already have
But
that?
then I'm sort of one who's had to work to kind of soften that tendency in myself over the years.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I've been known to drive myself a little hard.
How so?
Oh, I'm just like that. I was always very disciplined. I always
Knew what you wanted.
I was the kid who, my parents were like, "Isn't it time to go to bed and
me
stop
too.
doing
Me too.
homework?"
Right, me too.
You know,
Yeah, right,
at midnight
right,
when
right.
I was
Or just
12.
yeah. Really?
So, yeah. So, a little bit of a perfectionist streak.
A little bit.
Yeah. No, a
little
lot.
So, okay, then I repeat the question I asked earlier before I knew this new vital information. Is there any surprise to you that in the end you've ended up where you are? You are the odds-on favorite to win this thing, this Oscar thing. Most people think. You are, everybody is singing your praises. All the magazines want stories about you. Everybody wants to talk to you. How sweet is it?
It's really nice, and the fantastic thing about it is, hopefully, it seems that it begets more work and more interesting projects and more opportunities,
Exactly.
and that's really the thing to focus on and the most important.
You bet it is. In other words, it gives you options.
It's given me more options.
I'll read your words back to you. The ultimate goal isn't to be famous. The ultimate goal is to work on stuff that matters. You said that too. Here's another scene where you confront John in the hospital.
I think the Russians feel my profile is too high. That's why they simply just don't do away with me. They're keeping me here to try to stop me from doing my work. You have to get to Wheeler. You have to find William Barczyk. He can help us. He can help us. He can help us.
I went to Wheeler.
Good, good.
There is no William March.
Of course there isn't. We've been working for it.
Doing what? Breaking codes? Dropping packages in a secret mailbox for the government to pick up.
How could you know that?
Saul followed you. He thought it was harmless. They've never been opened. It isn't real. There is no conspiracy, John. There is no William Parcher. It's in your mind. You understand? Maybe you're sick. You're sick, John.
Your next film is with Ann Lee.
Yes.
You're going from victory to victory.
I hope so. You
Crouching
never know.
Tiger. Well, I know, but Crouching Tiger defined something special about him, obviously. Right?
And the Ice Storm.
And the Ice Storm did too.
And the
But
fact
there's a
that
certain
look at-
lyrical elegance about Crouching Tiger.
Absolutely. It's sort of a word that I use to describe him is his very lyrical sensibility.
Yeah.
And I think he's very brave also, and kind of irreverent in his choices. If you look at, kind of from Sense and Sensibility to Crouching Tiger
Right,
to
right,
the Ice
right.
Storm to, it's just sort of to the Hulk, which is what we're doing
The name of
together.
the movie is The Hulk. What's it
It's
about?
the
What-
Incredible Hulk. It's the Marvel, the Marvel
Oh, yeah,
comic.
Right, right.
Bruce Banner and his alter ego. So there's something about that doesn't quite, about that pairing, that doesn't quite fit. And in that, I find a lot of interest.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Jennifer Connelly has been nominated for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for A Beautiful Mind. We'll be right back. Stay with us.